Alright, let's do it. Hello my favorite people, today we'll be finishing up the 101 facts about the UK. This is the fourth part of the series, so if you haven't seen the other ones, go ahead and check those out. What do I expect for this one? More... I gotta sneeze. Oh. More facts about Parliament, probably more about the culture, and by culture I mean like movies or film, stuff like that. I don't know, let's just get right into it. And we are starting where we left off. Y'all were clowning me last time. We're starting off at number 66. Yes, I remember. Here we go! I don't know, I have a cold or something, so excuse my sniffles.
If you think we're all stuffy and boring over here, well, let me tell you we're bloody not. In fact, the world's second largest second-hand book market can be found in Hay-on-Wye, a small village at the border of England and Wales, so...
A lot of energy going on. Like, it's 7 in the morning for me, so I'm like, whoa. Whoa. Anyways, he said something about the border of Wales and England. So you know how in America and Canada there's that bridge across the water, and like you have to have your passport and everything and get stamped and checked out? For the UK countries, do y'all have to do that? Like if I was an citizen? Subject? If I were an English person and I wanted to take a day trip to Wales to see like my cousin or something, could I just walk over or drive over, or do I have to have like passports, what are you coming for, them check out my car and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, I think we know how to party, thank you very much. Number 67. The village is also famous for proclaiming itself independent from the UK in 1977, with a man named Richard Booth proclaiming himself the king, just as I have of this VO.
Oh,
loyal subject. Not you, Clive, you're too close.
Subjects.
Number 68. The UK, or rather Britain, used to put a flag down and claim, basically own / take over / destroy, many of today's independent countries to add...
I always get in trouble when I talk about this stuff, imperialism and colonization, so we're not going to speak on it, because I don't got time to be cancelled today.
...to the vast British Empire. It wasn't pretty. Sorry about that. How bad? Number 60. During World War II, decolonisation took place, and the British Commonwealth was formed, which unified these countries into an intergovernmental group.
So actually, that's kind of interesting though, because even last night I was talking to my sister about like, because I'm Nigerian and there's a lot of traditions and things going on, and I was trying to ask my sister like, why is my mom the way she is sometimes, and she was like, well, she grew up in an era when Nigeria was still occupied by England, and it was a territory of the English. And the woman's role, it just got into a big fuss about, like, women's roles and gender norms and all that stuff. But, yeah, it was just interesting to find out that even Nigeria, you know, where I'm ethnically from, was at one point a territory of England.
54 nations were a part of the Commonwealth, with Queen Lizzie at its head.
So I guess the Commonwealth is, in fact, let's just Google it. What is the Commonwealth? First, what I think it is like, it's all these territories that were conquered, but now they have, I guess, their own sort of government system. But they're still English territories, but they aren't as imperialized anymore. But let's just Google and see how it is. Wealth. What is the Commonwealth? The Commonwealth of Nations, generally known as the Commonwealth, is a political association of 54 member states, almost of which are former blah blah blah. What does that say? Political association, almost of which are former territories. Yeah. So just former territories of the British Empire. So they now have like their own rights though, I guess.
Number 70. We here in the UK love news. Sorry. So much in fact that the average person in the UK gets through around 38 kilograms of newspapers every year.
See, that's what I think here anymore. No one really reads the newspaper because it's on your phone. Technological age. How the world has changed since the advancement of technology, wow.
Number 71. People from the city of Liverpool, such as...
Liverpool! We love you guys, and your accents. Yes, very nice.
The Beatles are often known as Scousers. The name is short for lobscouse, which...
Who are those people who had the intestines of, like, sheep and stuff? I think it was the Irish. Y'all have some... I'll stick to the fish and chips. Let me just say that. You got pickles, aka gherkins, what looks to be the tail of a fish on some beans, and an egg on top of it with some radishes. That's what you call a 5-course meal over in Liverpool. Interesting. Oh my. Labscouse. Huh.
Which was a Scandinavian stew eaten by the sailors who visited the port. So...
And the Scandinavians were basically like the Nordic people, correct? Like the Vikings.
Yes, Liverpudlians, you're named after food. The more you know. Number 72. This is Big Ben, isn't it? Wrong! This is Big Ben, the bell inside, not the actual clock.
Oh! So where was this misconception? Because everybody knows the entire building as Big Ben. Interesting.
Clock tower itself is called Elizabeth Tower. Okay? There. Schooled you there, didn't I?
Yes, he did. So, you know, you got the London Bridge versus the other bridge. There's two bridges right across from each other, and it's always confusion about which one is which. Now you got Big Ben versus Elizabeth Tower. Just a lot of names getting misconstrued. Interesting.
So I don't know why I'm so aggressive, sorry. Number 73. East Peckham in Kent, has a unique claim to fame. It's the place where the first ever speeding ticket was issued in January of 1896.
Ooh.
A man named Walter Arnold was spotted doing 8 miles per hour in a 2 mile per hour zone.
Bitch, can you imagine driving? You would never get to your destination. 2 mile per hour. Why was that even a thing back then? How fast could the cars go back then, though? That is the question. Because 2 miles per hour and nowadays was probably 30 or something back then. You know, it's just a different gauge now.
Go speed racer, but was easily apprehended by a policeman riding a bicycle.
Ah, so no, he was legitimately going 2 miles per hour. That's hilarious.
Number 74. Before we had the pound sterling, we had other monies
Euro.
that sound like the stuff you find in Gringotts. We had farthings, shillings, and pennies.
I've heard of shillings. 10 shillings for a pencil. But that's like back in like the castle days when, you know, that kind of thing.
Farthings equaled a penny, 12 pence equaled 1 shilling, and 20 shillings equaled a pound. So if you ever go back in time, remember that. Number 75. Birmingham is the second largest city in the UK. Chances are you've probably been to a Birmingham, as there are 30 other places called Birmingham around the world. And off it. There's even a crater on the moon with the same name, although you probably haven't been there, and if you say you do, I frankly don't believe you.
So, what do you think made London the big spot for England and not Birmingham? Because it just said Birmingham is the second largest, and I'm assuming London is the first, but what's the difference between London and Birmingham? Birmingham.
Number 76. If you're visiting Norfolk, watch out for jaspers, also known as wasps, and try not to step on any dodmans, also known as snails. The more rural parts of the county have their own words for many things, including ladybirds, known as bishy barney bees, and money, known as cuta. I wonder if they have a word for the pedestrianisation of Norwich city centre.
LOL. There was, I don't know if it was called Scranton, but there was a little shop I went to. It started with an S, and it had like people selling fruits on the streets, clothes. It was very lively. It was like a street market in a way. It started with an S. I can't remember the name, but yeah. Where was I going with this? I don't remember. Oh, I was gonna say, whenever I was there, the only thing I didn't like about England was one day it would be sunny and beautiful and bright, then the next day it would be so gloomy, and like I'd be afraid to walk. You know that freaking pond that was, or park that was between my family's house and the freaking bus station, and all the geese and the poop on the floor. So imagine walking through the geese and the poop, and then on top of that it's like gloomy and almost about to rain.
Scum. Subhuman scum.
Number 77. According to British law, it's still perfectly legal to kill any Scotsman who enters the city of York if he happens to be carrying a bow and arrow.
Okay, so the Scots in York, there was some history there. Should we check it out? Let me know. I know about the Highlanders and all that stuff.
So, yeah, watch out for that, Yorkish, Scottish archers. Number 78. Killing a swan is a lawful offence in the UK, even if the swan started it by insulting a wife, or perhaps saying your pants look a bit too tight.
Or harassing you for food when you don't have any and you're just trying to walk to the bus station. Freaking annoying. Pooping in front of me, too.
This is because swans legally all belong to the crown, and therefore are property of the Queen, so killing or injuring a swan carries a penalty of £5,000.
How do you just own a bird? If it wanted to fly away, it could fly away. That's weird. It's kind of like how people say, I own another human being. How? That's great. Whatever. I'm not questioning the Queen. She's the Queen. Let her do what she wants.
Or 6 months in jail.
6 months in jail for a bird, dude? Ugh.
Number 79. In St George's Churchyard in Gravesend, there's a life-size statue of Princess Pocahontas, the daughter of a Native American chieftain who is buried in the grounds.
Are you for real? Pocahontas, you know, the one who was with John Smith over here, which the relationship was wrong. Homie's like 30-something, she was like 12. But she's over in England? How did she even get there? And why is she buried in England? That's wild. So, was John Smith an American colonizer, or was he a British colonizer? That's crazy. You know, I've seen the Disney movie, but it's just a love story in the movie, but when you really think about it, poor Pocahontas. But apparently but how can you love a man when you're 12? Oh man, that's crazy. Buried in England, wow. Who decided that?
She was visiting the area with her English husband, but died of fever. Probably not Saturday night fever, but, you know, the lethal one, in 1617.
1617. Okay, so John Smith was English. They came over for vacation to visit his family, you know, as good married people do, to see the in-laws. She catches a fever in 1617, so there's not really good medicine. You know, they probably just gave her some herbal teas, and she died. That being said, though, I still feel like you should have returned her to the chief, her family. Slippery slope here. Keeping my opinion to myself.
Number 80. Unlike places like, say, Australia, our wildlife is very unlikely to kill you unless you're on the Hogwarts grounds or any high street after 9 p.m. on a Saturday.
Australia is... Ooh. So he's saying there's a lot of robbers and stuff? I didn't experience any, like, dangers when I was there. But then again, I wasn't really out at night unless I was with my family. But yeah, even then, there was no, like, people bothering me.
Our wildlife includes foxes, badgers, owls, squirrels, ducks, robins, and hedgehogs. No killer spiders here. Yet. Number 81. That being said, though, we do have a native venomous snake in the UK called the adder, but it's pretty meek and will only bite as a last resort. Nobody has died from its bite in over 20 years.
20 years isn't that long of a time, though. Hopefully there's a, what do you call it? Not antidote. Anti-venom for it.
Number 82. Eating a mince pie on Christmas Day was set to be illegal in England, thanks to Oliver Cromwell.
Friggin' Oliver, what's your problem? That's like the person who tried to make soccer illegal. Mind your business.
The law was put in place in an effort to stop gluttony. However, the ban was abolished when Charles II became king, so never came into practice. Number 83. The national anthem... No, not you, Radiohead. The other one, God Save the Queen, or King, was first performed publicly in 1745 at London's Theatre Royal in Drury Lane.
Interesting. But there's debate, always going on in my comment section, that England doesn't actually have a national anthem. Some say God Save the Queen is the national anthem, some say it's not. What is your point of view? Let me know down below. That being said, I don't know why, but last night I was watching a lot of... I don't know why I was doing this. I was in that kind of, like, remembrance mood. I was watching 9/11 videos, and I got to a point where it was the Prime Minister. I believe his last name was, like, Alder or something like that. And I was watching his speeches and the British reaction to 9/11 as it was happening, like, live. And the Queen made it... She said it was okay for them to perform our national anthem. I think it was on the grounds of the Buckingham Palace, and there was a band behind the, like, people in their outfits, the redcoats or whatever, and they were legit playing it, and the British people were out on the other sides of the gate crying. People were singing along. It was just a really nice moment, because, again, the Queen sing the American national anthem. That's a big deal. She's the queen of the country, and she's having her people sing a different national anthem. And especially, under the circumstances, it was just very heartwarming. I freaking cried watching it. So yeah, it's nice that, it's like we hate each other, but we love each other at the same time. America and England. And it's very special, our bond. Anyways, back to the video favor. Shut up!
After a performance of Ben Johnson's play, The Alchemist. There you go, that'll help you on a pub quiz.
Haven't seen it.
Number 84. These 3 golden lions are the symbols of England's crest.
Yes, on your soccer jerseys. I just rated the soccer jerseys.
And also appear on England's football team's symbol too.
Yeah.
All together now. 3 lions on the shirt. The lions come from Henry I, known as the Lion of England. He is a lion. You're gonna...
This guy, he's whatever. Oh my.
Number 85. This random assembly.
Stonehenge. Still pissed I didn't go see it. I didn't know. I don't know where I thought it was, but I did know it was in England. I probably could have visited it, because that's like a big thing. 2 things whenever you think of England. The red buses, the Ferris wheel, and Big Ben. That's 3 things. And now the 4th thing, Stonehenge. So if I ever get to make it back after this pandemonia and nursing school, I will definitely visit there.
Family of stones is known as Stonehenge.
Henge. Not hedge. Stonehenge.
Stonehenge!
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Stonehenge stands on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire and is a very popular tourist spot to this day, but nobody knows why it was built.
Exactly. It's just like the pyramids in Egypt or the Aztec temples and stuff like that. It's just like, how were they able to build this kind of structure and heavy stuff? Why did they build it? What's the history behind it, the meaning here? So it's like you respect it, even though it's really just a bunch of big rocks, but it's like, okay, but they were placed very specifically. I feel like they were probably a temple or a place of worship, or because, you know, they're in a circle, so it's kind of like walkways, and in the center they would do something. I feel like it's a very religious or spiritual place. So I would definitely want to visit.
Or even how. Number 86. What we do...
Sorry, why's the quality shit? What happened, internet?
You know, though, apart from that the Pandorica is very nearby, is that it was built around 3000 BC, and construction was spread over many hundreds of years. The last changes were made in the early Bronze Age in around 1500 BC.
Man.
Number 87. The British...
Wait, but at that time, wasn't history being recorded, so no one thought to write down in whatever language, like the importance there, or draw it? Come on. What were they doing back then?
The library in London is the largest library in the world.
Ooh.
It has more than 170 million items catalogued.
I believe it, because y'all's history dates back to, like, prehistory.
And hopefully soon in the future, my autobiography, Love is the Oldest Law, wrote the Sam and Jen story.
His humor is just, like, ridiculous. Oh my god, he had a Roblox character on the cover. I'm dead. Minecraft. That's funny.
Number 88. United Kingdom is one of the only countries in the world without a written constitution. Of course, we still have laws and stuff. It's not quite anarchy in the UK, sorry Sex Pistols, but nobody's actually bothered to write the laws down.
Okay, so that's kind of, I guess that's something I've just learned, because I always thought a constitution was basically just rights for the citizen, but again, y'all have a monarchy, and though you are a democratic monarchy, the queen still reigns over you. So I guess it would make sense for you not to have a constitution. Because basically it's just like, you can do this, you can't do this, as it is your right to do this. Do you have rights in the UK? Or living under a British territory, do you have rights? That's a
Number
question.
89. England's first telephone directory was published in 1880 and only had 248 names and addresses in it.
Oh.
Number 90. In its past, London has had some far flashier names, including Londinium, Ludenwick, and Ludenberg.
Ooh. But I still like London. London just seems very, nice perfume. Gucci. You know? Just London. Beautiful. Londonberg. Ugh.
Number 91. The UK is also the home of the wonderful NHS, or
Yeah!
National Health Service. This provides free healthcare for all citizens of the country due to being paid for through taxes.
Must be freaking nice. Appreciate your NHS, because it is a big luxury that Americans can't even fathom. Free healthcare? Wow, living the dream, bud.
Which is nice, because if you trip over a hedgehog and scuff your knee, it won't cost you anything. Result.
My brother was just talking to me. We didn't know he had asthma, but all of a sudden, and he's like 20-something, he had an asthma attack, so we didn't know what was going on. So obviously we rushed him to the hospital, and they just gave him like something to help him breathe and an inhaler. Guess how much it cost him? And he still has to pay it. $3,000 for a few puffs.
Number 92. There are 1.4 million employees within the health service, helping out those who have fallen over hedgehogs everywhere. And they're all amazing. Thanks, guys. You the best. Also, government, pay them more.
Okay, that's something we need to look into. You know, we've checked out and compared the healthcare systems of the UK and America, but we haven't checked out the salaries. For an example, entry-level nurses in Texas and in the United States make 60-something thousand, and that's just entry. So 5 years from now, I could potentially be making close to six figures as a nurse. Obviously, I'm not doing it for the money, but it is a nice incentive and, you know, a promising job security, financial stability. It's a great position to be in. So I wonder how much, if they're always asking for more money, how much do people in the UK make? Nurses, doctors, physicians. assistants, all that stuff. How much do they make?
Number 93. It's not just hedgehogs, though, that the NHS have to deal with. On average, 488 people are injured by zips and 3,078 people are injured by slippers every year in the UK.
Yeah, because it's like a city. You don't walk around New York City with some flip-flops on. You need closed-toed shoes. People are pissing and pooping on the floor. There's construction all day, every day. You wear closed-toed shoes. That's just common sense. Why are you in flip-flops? In Europe, especially. They got the cobblestones. Put on some tennis shoes.
They are dangerous, though.
Some sneakers, some... What do y'all call them? You don't call them sneakers. Trainers. Put on some trainers.
Look at them. Interesting. Number 94. Asgard seems to be a big hit here, sadly for all you Garys out there. The name Gary is, as of 2013, less popular in the UK than both the names Thor and Loki.
Loki from Vikings, and Thor is a god of one of the people. Greek, maybe? I don't know.
Number 95. England was part of the shortest war in history. They fought Zanzibar in 1896, and Zanzibar surrendered after 38 minutes.
They said, we don't want the smoke. What was the history there, though? What happened? Were they officially like British territories or subjects, or what happened there with Zanzibar?
96. A relative of Shakespeare on his mother's side, Edward Arden, was arrested for plotting against Queen Elizabeth I. He was imprisoned in the Tower of London and executed there. What's a poem about that, Willie?
Damn. They had to kill him? I mean, if you're going after the Queen, I understand it, but jeez. He's related to Shakespeare. Was Shakespeare not, like, popping back in the day? Like, when he was around? Isn't that sucks? Like, you're alive, no one appreciates you, but after you're dead and centuries later, now they want to read your books and stuff.
Number 97. Speaking of old Bill Shakespeare, he only left his wife one thing in his will. It says, I gave unto my wife my second best bed with the furniture. I hope that bed was okay. Sorry, Anne Hathaway. No, not that one. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, her name is Anne Hathaway. That's nice. So Shakespeare was married. Interesting. I said in another video if y'all wanted me to start reacting to Shakespearean plays or, literature, poetry, whatever we could, because, we've done some Shakespearean stuff in school, but not that I really remember.
Number 98. With 37 plays, 154 sonnets, the plays that he collaborated on, and the lost plays, Shakespeare wrote an average of 1.5 plays a year since he first started in 1589. That's all very well and good, but can he do 101 facts about any given topic? Probably. Number 99.
That's just insane, though. 1500s Shakespeare was around. It's like, how many icons do you get like that? It's like very rare. Well, have we gotten another playwright like Shakespeare since him? No. We've gotten a few people, Stephanie Meyer in Twilight, the Harry Potter lady. But Shakespeare, Huh.
This fact is something you can repeat word for word in order to sound cleverer. You're welcome. Here we go, ready? Shakespeare is most often referred to as a playwright of the Elizabethan era, but his most popular plays were written after Elizabeth's death. His later plays show distinct characteristics of the Jacobean dramas, like...
That's kind of the Jacobites. They're the Scotsmen who were fighting the English crown. But it's funny how it's called the Elizabethan era after the freaking queen. Like, she claims the era, but it was literally about Shakespeare. Why isn't it the Shakespearean era? But whatever. Referred
to as a playwright of the Elizabethan era, but his most popular plays were written after Elizabeth's death. His later plays show distinct characteristics of the Jacobean dramas.
The Jacobites.
Like obviously. Number 100. Shakespeare has been credited by the Oxford English Dictionary for introducing around 3,000 words to the English language. It's been estimated that his vocabulary ranged from 17,000 to 23,000 words.
So how do you just create words? Like, I write it down, oh, that sounds like a good one, let's keep it, let's write it into the dictionary. How did he even find those words? Did he just randomly, I have this emotion, this thing I want to say, but don't have a word for it, so I'll create one? Or did he hear it from a foreign language or another language? How do you just create words? Chocolat bleu. I could say that means peanut butter.
Number 101.
Last one! Yeah!
An Anglophile is not something that puts you on a register, but is rather defined as something...
Is this what you call British humor? I hate this guy. Not something that puts you on a register. And by register, he means a list. A list. This is hilarious. British humor, I finally understand it. Wow.
Someone who loves England and Britain. Are you an Anglophile? Let
No, I'm a nationalist, an American nationalist.
me know in the comment below. Also, I know you've got to this point, and I'll be really, really impressed. Really.
Alright, there we go. 101 facts about the UK. Officially done. Wow. Okay, if this is British humor, we stand. Because this guy was funny. From the freaking Minecraft on the cover to now the Anglophile doesn't make you want to register. Hilarious. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any of my comments that you want to comment back on or just mention or discuss, comment down below. Like the video, subscribe if you're new here. What other content you want to see, let me know and I'll do it. Ow. Bye.